Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at just a brief summary of the Honkai Star Rail 1.5 livestream and all upcoming content that's coming in 1.5. If you enjoyed today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to channels if new. And I just want to preface real quick before we begin as well, if you hear a fan in the background, I live in Australia, it's hot as balls at the moment, so I'm not turning it off, so if you hear the fan in the background, sorry. Alrighty, so let's just jump straight into things. So first things first, I'm going to be reading off the page and I'm going to be showing some clips in the background of the different things when I talk about them. So we got the 1.5 live stream yesterday. This information's all on Pride One if you want to take a look at it. I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. But yeah, some really cool stuff happened. I'm actually really excited for what's coming. Alrighty, so first things first, I'll link both these to the stream and the trailers down below if you want to check them out. Also the link to this page, but we're essentially just going to do the brief summary and I'm going to go over all the information. So first up, we got a new character being HOU. HOU. I'm not too sure how to pronounce this, to be honest. I need to re-look up that. I'm really bad with pronunciations for a little bit. We got a new character, ARGENTI, and a new character, Hanya. ARGENTI and HOU are fucking hell, that's going to be a problem. Are both 5-star units, and Hanya is the 4-star unit for this patch. Now, I was originally being like, okay, HOU 100%, ARGENTI is possibly a skip. I was wrong. ARGENTI looks fun as fuck. I didn't like his character at first because I thought he was going to be that, you know, like posh, noble kind of prick kind of character. Turns out he's just a good dude and is just like, he's just badass. I don't know, I mean, my opinion after seeing him in the stream is like completely changed. Because I thought he was going to be one way and then it turns out he's not and he just seems kind of cool. So I might be pulling for both characters again and goddamn my wallet is hurting for fuck's sake because there's been too many good characters lately. Anyways, we got new banners, new Lightcone, 2 new relic sets, which I'm going to talk about later because they're pretty decent sets. A new main story, new events, and other updates, and you know the codes, which I'll leave the codes down in the description below if you want to grab those too. Okay, so we got a new character being HOU, who is a abundance character. So she's a 5-star wind element who follows the path of abundance. Her combat role is she's meant to be a healer that regenerates energy and boosts attack. Dude, this character is going to be dummy broke. I'm just gonna say that right now. The fact that she heals, she regenerates energy, and boosts attack for multiple allies is insane. She's an AoE healer too, which is really good. So we got some basic information for her skills. This is not the full overview, but I'm just going to read over these really quickly. So her basic skill is Talisman Stormcaller, deals wind damage to a single target. That's pretty self-explanatory. Her skill, Talisman Protection, restores HP to the target ally and all allies adjacent. That is nuts. So what that basically means is you do it in the middle, it does it to, so good, so much healing. And it's great because of that. So basically you just put it on like a middle target and both the other healer targets adjacent will receive healing too. Now, we didn't get the information of this, but I'm assuming the adjacent targets don't get the full heal and they only get a percentage. Yet again, could be wrong, we don't have the full information on this yet. But I'm assuming the adjacent targets only take a percentage of the healing. Then you've got her ultimate, Tail Spiritual Domination, regenerates energy for all allies, increases their attack for a certain number of turns. This can be insane, and I'm not sure how much this is going to break things. Depending on how much this energy regenerates, there are certain situations, especially in Simulated Universe, where this could literally just break Simulated Universe for a lot of characters, having her on the team. Because there are certain characters that get massive benefit from using their ultimate, that helps the rest of their kit too. For example, Jin Liu, QQ, a bunch of characters where using their ultimate really benefits the rest of the team, or like Bronya, or other characters, or Asta, for example, be able to do the amount of speed manipulation things you better do with Asta. Just having her ultimate up as much as possible would be insane. So it really depends on how much the energy regeneration is, but this character could actually break the game in certain game modes. Obviously not as much in Memory of Chaos because that's, you know, a bit more grounded, but regardless, this ability has the potential to just be completely broken. So then you have a talent, Possessed Ethereal Metaflow. After using your skill, HOU gains Sacrifice Life if HOU has Sacrificed Life on an ally's turn starts, or when an ally uses their ultimate, restore HP for that ally. So basically, this is just the stack system we've seen on many other characters now. We're starting to see it a lot more. So she's going to have, I think it's 2 stacks of it, and basically whenever she has a stack, and when a character's turn starts, the ally, wait, hold on. If HOU has Sacrifice Life and ally turn starts and the ally uses their ultimate, So yeah, so basically, if she has stacks and an ally is either hurt when their turn starts or they use their ultimate, they will consume one of her stacks and heal a little bit back. I'm assuming that's what it's saying, how it's going to work, which is really, really good for just some passive overall healing. Ho-Ho inflicts Horror Struck on nearby enemies and they will flee away from Ho-Ho when entering battle with enemies in Horror Struck. Their attack will be reduced. In conclusion, I'm just going to call this right now. This character is going to be S+ tier on the healing side of things. Like, at a minimum S. This character is going to be ridiculously good. Just for the fact of her ultimate alone, she potentially will provide really good healing. But the main thing is this ultimate. Energy regen plus increased attack on an abundance character is insane. This is the bit as well. This is just in Ho-Ho. You can also run a Bronya on your team, or a Paler and a Bronya. Like with this setup, you could, because she fills the healing role, and depending on how good her healing is, you could do, like, for example, on the Jin Liu team, you could replace Fushuan and put Ho-Ho, Jin Liu, Paler, Bronya, and something like that kind of combination, and your healing and damage just goes through the roof. Okay, so next up we have ARGENTI. Now this character is also going to be pretty fun. So this guy is going to be a physical erudition character. The first physical character we've actually gotten in quite a while that's like a good damage dealing character potentially. So his basic deals physical damage to a single enemy. His skill deals physical damage to all enemies, so AoE. And this is the first time we've ever seen this. He has 2 ultimates. Now I want to see how this kind of works in game. So the way this works is the first ultimate only consumes a little bit of the energy and does damage, not all your energy of your ultimate. And then the second one consumes all the energy and does more damage. This is the first time we're seeing something like this, and I think it's actually quite interesting. Deals physical damage. So the first ultimate deals physical damage to all enemies, it consumes a small amount of energy. Whereas the second one deals more physical damage to all enemies and then deals additional damage to a random enemy and consumes a massive amount of energy. I think this is really, really interesting the way they're setting this up. And his talent, for every enemy hit by ARGENTI, he regenerates energy and grants himself a stack of self-conservation, increasing his crit rate, which is also pretty nice. And then his technique attacks an enemy dealing physical damage and inflicts daze. So this character here, it's up in the air whether he's going to be really good or not. But I think he could be potentially a very fun character and could potentially be very good. And I actually want him to very, very, very good because we don't really have, like, we have Clara as like a physical DPS, but like she's a very much a follow-up kind of unit. Am I forgetting a character? Hold on, let me check something quickly. So the only physical 5-star character that's actually like a really top tier DPS, like actual decent DPS is Clara. The problem with the rest of these characters is they fill different kind of roles and they're not quite top tier. Like Luca is more than a healer character. He's really, really good at single target, but he suffers in some other areas and really gets buffed by putting him on other teams. Natasha's a healer, so obviously not. Suchan, just a decent damage dealer, but not top tier or anything. And then like obviously the physical MC is garbage. So the only really good physical unit is going to be Clara at the current game, but Hanya and Genti might change this, and that makes me really excited because if you take out this character here, we have this, and this. Like, three of these are kind of suggested for whether they're crap or not. One's decent and one's good. It's like a little bit different when you go to, like, for example, Lightning. We've got good character, pretty decent character. Like, a lot of the other elements have other units that are really good. Physical just kind of doesn't have that at the moment. Like, Clara is your only really good option if you want a really strong physical DPS, and even then she's not top tier by any stretch of the means. Okay, and then we have Hanya, who's a physical element who follows the path of harmony. So we've got another 4-star buffing character for potential free-to-plays to get his very easily. So basic attack deals physical damage to a single target ally. That's pretty self-explanatory. Her skill deals physical damage to a single enemy and inflicts them with burden. Allies will recover a skill point after launching a set amount of attacks against the enemy with burden. This is kinda dope. I am very excited for this. Anything that has energy or skill regeneration is going to be insane. And purely for the fact that this is a 4-star character, this means that, yes, not necessarily because RNG, you might miss out on getting her on the banner if you're just doing temples, but you're guaranteed to roll a 4-star character every 10 pulls that you do on her banner. Meaning, there's a pretty high chance that you're going to pick up at least 1 copy of her. And having this as a free-to-play is ridiculously strong. I'm just going to say that right now. And then her ultimate is another speed manipulation thing. So increases the speed and attack of target ally for a certain number of turns. So she essentially has a non-AoE version of what Asta has, which we've already stated is very, very good. Allies will deal more damage to enemies inflicted with burden, so that's the talent, and then technique immediately attacks an enemy after entering battle applies burden to a random enemy. So all in all, the new characters in this thing are just going to be really, really good. So I'm very excited for all of them. Now, this is where I start to have a few more issues with some of these banners and why it's a little bit problematic. So, HOU is obviously going to be really, really strong, but the 4 stars on a banner are kinda... I'm just going to say, they're shit. They're really shit. The best one is the base Dung, Dung Hung, which he's not even really that great. I mean, he can be made to do good, just like any characters in this game to be made to be good, but the next is Aster and then 𝙀𝙑𝙍𝙍. This is not a good 4-star banner. It's like different to like the one like where we just had, or the one before where they have like a bunch of really good 4 stars. And then Thorns of the Scented Crown, which is the second one. This one's a little bit better. Actually, no, hold on. It's a lot better. All 3 of these 4 stars are actually really good. So Lynx is a good healer, Aster is a good speed manipulation, and this is going to be a good harmony character. So this banner is a lot better. But this first one, the only really good thing here is HOU. These 4 characters are actually kind of shit, really. And then you obviously have all the Lightcone banners, they're not important, and then we're getting a Silverwolf rerun, which I actually find kind of funny, because they just kind of skipped Jin Yuan and just went straight to Silverwolf, so, unless I'm remembering the patch order wrong, but I'm pretty sure the order was Seeya, Jin Yuan, Silverwolf, Locha, like that kind of order of things. Or maybe it's Locha first, then Silverwolf, but I don't know, they just skipped a bunch of characters here. I thought they were going to do them in order, but apparently not. So, interesting. In addition to that, you'll be getting this new Lightcone. This is a new Lightcone in the game, and everyone will be getting a copy of this, I believe, for free, or maybe maxed out like the Silverwolf one. Anyways, this is the big thing. 4 sets of new relics. I said 2 before, I was actually wrong about that. So, these are really good. You'll be able to farm these from the new things. They didn't give us official information for what these are. What they do, but I'm not going to say those right now. There's leaked information online. If you wish to find those, you can just kind of search the names or go look for leaks. They exist. You'll be able to find them probably. But they're very good for certain characters. I'll say that much. So these sets are going to be interesting. I'm glad that they're releasing new sets over time slowly. Okay, then we're getting a new event, which is a Foxy and Tale of the Haunted. This is like a themed kind of event. Honestly, they didn't really give us too much information as to how this kind of works, but it sounded like there's going to be, based off the image they showed, there's going to be like blog posts that are happening on the HOU, and essentially our job will be to go and solve these mysteries, and I'm assuming get rewards and do some fights for doing so. That sounds what it's going to be like. And then, this is the thing I was not expecting. We are getting 2 event reruns very soon too. So we're getting a Boulder Town Martial Expedition, which is going to be a rerun of the Boulder Town tournament, which will happen, and it's getting, I believe, quite a few updates I mentioned as well. And then we're also getting Stellar Shadow Seeker, which is basically just a photography event. This really kind of surprised me that we're getting both of these reruns so soon. I thought this would be like a 2.0 or later kind of thing. The fact that we're getting it now is kind of insane. So yeah. And then in addition to that, we got 1 new companion mission, which is going to be for ARGENTI, which makes me a little bit sad that we don't get one for... They were kind of doing 2 every single patch, but now they kind of moved away and they're doing kind of 1. I don't really know what they're doing there. I wanted a HOU one or like a Hanya one. Maybe those will come later, but whatever. New Stagnant Shadow, 1 new area, which will be the haunted area. New voice lines, guest book, which will show you who visits your train, so this is a good, nice little change. New voice lines will be added to the character ascension screen, which is also awesome. Yeah, this is great, and you'll be able to, don't worry, you'll be able to view these voice lines in the usual voice line gallery. The Forgotten Hall re-challenge feature will be added. This is big. So in Memory of Chaos, the way this is going to work now, say for example, there's 2 stages. If you finish one of them, and then you fail the second, normally, you would have to go back to the start and redo it all again. But what they've added now is a re-challenge button, so you can just re-challenge the second stage and skip doing the first, which is awesome. And this is another big one, just another quality of life thing. Your team will now be saved in the Forgotten Hall. So if you've cleared it with a team before or gone in with a team, it'll now remember that team for next time you try to re-challenge the thing, which is awesome. And then we've also got all the codes here. So overall, a pretty stacked patch, if I'm being completely honest. We get 2 really good new character launches, a new really good 4-star launch, 3 events, which is kind of nuts. We get the main one, the new one, and then 2 reruns. We also get this. I believe they also mentioned something that wasn't mentioned here as well, as we're getting the relic and rerun kind of things where we get boosted relics. I think that's already started actually. Or maybe that's another one. And then we get a bunch of like quality of life and really good updates in terms of story. I'm super keen for this. I think this is going to be really good. Now, something I want to quickly address as well. I don't think they mentioned it here. They don't have an image of it in this post. But with the new story quest thing, they have the... for those of you who haven't played the game, there's essentially different coloured story quest markers, or quest markers. There's the blue for like your just basics, there's purple for companion missions, and then it's like yellow for the current like story mission thing. And they've introduced a new one recently in last patch, which is the orange ones. I believe these are referring to like interlude missions. So we had one in the last patch, and we're having another one now, which is what they kind of showed. They showed the marker next to the event quest thing, or maybe that just symbolizes an event quest. I could be wrong, but what this probably means is, since we've had probably a few interludes now, we might get another one in 1.6, or in 1.6 we might be going to Pentaconi, so I'm keen for that. But yeah, anyways guys, that's all that's kind of here for the new event, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'll see you guys when I've enough time. Bye guys.
After all, Elio didn't put it in the script. Why would it matter?
Well,